Now, your forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
All right, good evening to you tonight. As we take a look at the satellite radar picture, it is all clear across the area. No major issues out there tonight. A little cool, though, as temperatures are cooling back down into the 30s, kind of near that freezing mark as we head into early tomorrow morning. But we are forecasting an incredible week of weather ahead. We're talking about temperatures that are going to be in the 50s for many days. As you grab some of that coffee in the morning, readings near the freezing mark, but we're going to warm all the way to the mid-50s tomorrow under a ton of sunshine. When we come back, does it get even better than this? We'll have it in the forecast. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
Michigan was ranked number 2 in the nation, but the Illini are feeling like number 1 after tonight. Plus, one family won't have a home to come back to after fire destroyed it today. We'll have all those details.
And people at one apartment building say they're dealing with a bed bug infestation. Why they say their landlord is making it difficult to get rid of them.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
That's about right. It's the win heard across Illini Nation. Good evening. I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jessica Coons. Illinois basketball made history tonight. The Illini beat number 2 Michigan by 23 points. The first time in program history Illinois has beat a top 2 ranked team on the road. WCIA 3 Sports Director Brett Behrens was there to see it all and joins us now live. Brett, they not only won, they dominated tonight.
It was almost hard to believe what I was watching. There's no fans in there, and a lot of times when we're in the arena, right, we get a true sense of what's happening in the game by the fans, and the few Michigan fans that were there were not happy about the result tonight as Illinois completely blows out Michigan, the number 2 ranked team in the country. It almost looked like varsity versus JV at several points tonight as the Illini led by 11 at halftime and then used a big second half run to pull away, and this game was in hand about midway through the second half. And to make things even sweeter for Illini Nation, they did it all with their star player Ayo Dosunmu on the bench for the 3rd straight game. We learned afterwards that he is in concussion protocol, and Brad Underwood said he's still day today. They thought he might be able to go before the game, but turns out they didn't even need him. Andre Curbelo, Trent Frazier, and Kofi Coburn stepped up big time, and using that 15-3 run, they secured the biggest and highest ranked road win in school history.
Be on this stage right here is incredible. I can't tell you the feeling I'm feeling right now. It's special. And, you know, we're not done. We're going to continue to, you know, come in every day and just, you know, finish out the season strong and prepare for the next step.
Just one game remaining in the regular season. That's Saturday at 7th-ranked Ohio State. And the Illini have all the momentum now heading into March. And we are in March. I just heard the plane go by as the Illini are en route back to Champaign. No doubt the party is continuing on that plane and will continue for the rest of the week as they are peaking at the right time. This is no doubt the best team since 2005, and they have potential to be a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. I asked Brad Underwood that if this game should solidify that spot as them as a number 1 team, and he said he can't think of a better victory all season in college basketball than the one we saw tonight. We'll have much more coming up in sports, but for now, we'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, good stuff. We'll see you again in a few. Brett, thank you. Switching gears now, we have some new details about a house fire in Tolono. The home went up in flames this afternoon with 3 dogs trapped inside. This happened in the south part of town on Meadow Lane. WCIA 3's Jen Lask was at the scene. She joins us now. Jen, you spoke to the father of that homeowner. What did he have to say?
Well, Jessica, he said his daughter was on her way back from a trip to Dallas, and her fiance had left for work about an hour before the fire broke out. Neither of them had any idea what might have started that fire, and the crews there weren't sure either.
And as we were driving down the country road by the grain elevators, I saw smoke.
Iridis Daniels and his fiance sprang into action, tracking the smoke down to this house on Meadow Lane.
I went to the front door and knocked on the door to see if anybody was home, but thank God nobody was home, so I jumped over the back of the fence.
That's where Daniels spotted dogs stuck inside, but the doors were locked and he couldn't get in. At the front of the home, a similar scene was unfolding after Jack Briggs' sister called to ask this.
She said, "Did you know that She says, Mandy's house on fire?
Briggs had been watching TV inside his own home across the street and had no idea.
So I ran across the street to try to get into the front door, and it was locked, and because I know there was 3 dogs in there, and I don't think the dogs are going to make it.
He had to let his daughter Amanda know as she was returning to Illinois.
She's freaking out, obviously. She was worried about the dogs.
Crews pulled 1 dog from the home within about 30 minutes of arriving. He died at the scene. The others were in crates and harder for firefighters to reach.
We initially made an interior attack, but due to the heavy volume of fire and the structural integrity, we had to pull out.
Assistant Fire Chief Chris Humer says no firefighters were hurt. It took about 2 hours before crews got the bulk of the fire under control.
So it's very unfortunate for the loss for this family. It's a significant loss of their home. So I'm sure the community as well as the neighborhood will rally around them and offer them as much support as possible.
Although all 3 dogs died, a pet turtle in the home did survive. Crews are still working to figure out the cause of the fire, but believe it was accidental. Back to you, Jessica.
Just devastating across the board. All right, Jen, thank you. We have an update on a deadly fire in Edgar County. The coroner says a man and his 2-month-old daughter died from thermal exposure and carbon monoxide inhalation. 35-year-old Michael Phipps also died from smoke inhalation. That fire happened early yesterday morning in Vermilion, which is near Paris. His girlfriend and her 2 other children were able to escape. Family says the girlfriend is on a ventilator. Both she and her 6-year-old daughter are sedated. No word yet on what started that fire.
There are new charges in the case of a missing man from Vermilion County. Michelle Ingram has been charged with stabbing Richard Truitt. Truitt was last seen getting into a car with Ingram on December 27, 2020. The morning after he went missing, Ingram broke into his best friend's home.
She had kicked in my back door and proceeded to tell me a few things that I didn't like, to where we ended up in a scuffle. She hit me, and I called the police.
No other arrests have been made. The Vermilion County Sheriff's Department says it is trying hard to bring closure for Truitt's family and encourages anyone with additional information to come forward.
Our main goal is to get the case solved.
That's why the True Crime Takedown podcast devoted 3 episodes to the cold case involving the killings of 2 men in Chrisman 13 years ago. It's a story that starts with a murder in Chicago and ends with a double murder in central Illinois. Tonight, we're looking at the Midwest murders that claimed the lives of Ryan Riddle and Mark Prossi.
Most people in this area can hardly even imagine that you can be the victim of a home invasion and then 7 months later be murdered, and that those 2 things are not related.
Except that's exactly what happened to Ryan Riddle in January 2008, months after he was tied up in his own home by 2 men in the midst of a crime spree across central Illinois. Riddle and Mark Prossi were killed inside Prossi's home in Edgar County.
They were great people. You never had a bad time with them. They always were, brought smiles to any situation, and I think they'd be real pleased.
What makes this case particularly complex is there are a number of different motives that police have to look at.
But ISP doesn't believe the home invasion and killings are connected.
They believe that Ryan Riddle and Mark Prossi were specifically targeted, and that the suspects, when they went to Mark Prossi's house in rural Chrisman, that they went there specifically knowing what they were going to do.
Another element that makes these killings so shocking:
the people we spoke with on the podcast said you almost couldn't find this house even when you were trying to find it.
Today, ISP, which did not respond to a request for comment by the time the story aired, is again on the case.
Illinois State Police, Zone 5, they have created a special investigations unit just for this case. There's approximately 5 agents that have been assigned this case, and they've been focused on this case for months.
They're reviewing old evidence, original interviews, and utilizing developments in DNA technology.
This is really good news from my perspective, because cops don't usually waste the time of getting DNA samples unless they have the potential, maybe, to be able to compare it to a killer or killer's DNA sample.
And if nothing else,
we just hope that someone that has the courage 13 years later to come forward with even something small that has weighed on their mind all these years.
There is a $25,000 reward to be paid in the event of information that leads to an arrest and conviction. course, you can listen to all 3 episodes of True Crime Takedown Midwest Murders on Apple, Spotify, or Google. We also have information about how to contact ISP and Wabash Valley Crime Stoppers at WCIA.com.
New at 10, a Rantoul man was indicted today on child porn charges. 37-year-old Alan Dodd has been in custody since last month. The Department of Justice says Dodd is accused of distributing child porn last year and of having it last month. For details on how the Champaign County Sheriff's Office was tipped off about this, you can head to our website, WCIA.com. Now for an update on a crash from last week in Moultrie County. Family says one of the victims has died. 21-year-old Austin Huffman was driving with Megan Winskill and their toddler when another car hit them near Arthur. Huffman died this morning. Winskill is still in the hospital. The child is okay. 20-year-old Levon Yoder was ticketed for not yielding at a stop intersection and driving with a suspended license.
This is a story that may make your skin crawl. Some people in an apartment complex are having issues with bed bugs. It's happening at Steer Place in Urbana on East Harding Street and South Cottage Grove Avenue. We spoke with tenants who are angry about what they call an infestation. WCIA 3's Bryce Beeman's in the newsroom. Bryce, one woman says she just can't afford to get rid of them.
She says they have to pay half the extermination fee to get rid of the bed bugs. The landlord pays half and the renter is on the hook for the rest.
The box spring cover was covered in blood and their feces.
Long has been living at Steer Place in Urbana. She recently had bed bugs and had to evacuate her apartment while crews came in and sprayed. She says she was told she would get a new cover for her box spring. When she got back, it was not clean.
I said, no. I said, this is unacceptable.
She called her manager at Steer Place, who also said it was unacceptable and that he would take care of it. She says the landlord wouldn't let her remove the dirty cover, so Long has had to keep it in her apartment.
It makes you sick to your stomach. And I told him, I said, I want it out of here and I want it gone now.
Days later, it's still in her apartment. Meanwhile, another person has been dealing with bed bugs. Joy Cox says she can't afford to pay to get them exterminated, so she says she has to continue living with them.
I cannot afford to pay for the pay to be sprayed. I have no income, and this is low-income housing, so that means that I have to live with them, I guess, now.
She says this problem is even hurting her grandkids.
These babies are getting bit up in my apartment from these bed bugs.
The manager of the building was there when we visited the apartment. I knocked on the door and no one would answer me. For now, Cox says she is stuck and unsure where to go from here.
So I don't know what to do from this point.
The Champaign-Urbana Public Health District says they refer bed bug cases to city building inspectors. That department will work with the landlords and owners to fix the issues. I called them and it went to voicemail, but I will be following up with them. In the newsroom, I'm Bryce Beeman, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Bryce, of course, let us know if you get any updates. Thanks. And if you experience bed bugs, there are some tips to get rid of them. Clean up clutter, but be careful moving items from room to room to prevent spread further. Wash and heat dry clothes or bedding. Bed bugs can hide in laundry hampers. And of course, turn to professionals if needed. Now, from bed bugs to a virus you can't see, the state's COVID-19 positivity rate climbed slightly since yesterday. It's now at 2.8%. And there are more than 1,500 new cases that were announced today, along with 47 additional deaths. The state has averaged, however, around 80,000 vaccinations a day over the last week.
An owner was looking for her dog after a car crash, and our update will make you smile.
And Io DeSumo didn't play tonight, but the Illini did just fine with handing Michigan a loss. We'll check back in live with Brett on the way.
And our weather today was pretty nice, but it's about to get even better. 47 and 20 on the almanac. Roofing Dog, INET, Flooring America, Cameron, Springfield. Hey, spring, it's here, man, and it may be sticking around. We'll talk about the calm pattern when we come back.
Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Lighty.
All right, so a really nice day again today, and it's just going to get better and better and better. I mean, this forecast is just perfect for us here as we head into March. We've got the clear skies tonight. It's not going to be as cold. I know it's kind of chilly this morning. It won't be as cold, but, you know, still down near freezing, we think, by tomorrow morning. But it's still 40 in Decatur, 39 in Mattoon, and 40 in Effingham. We're going to be down around 32, 33 degrees out there. Paxton, Watsika at 33. We'll say 34 in Sullivan, Taylorville, 33 down around Shelbyville to begin your Wednesday. All right, let's take you to Sherman and our water tower there where we have a 58-degree high. That's right, upper 50s coming back tomorrow. Even Oakwood, you're looking good there, 57. And over into Forsyth, Pride in Progress as displayed on their water tower. That is a very proud forecast at 58 degrees for sure. That's solar power. I mean, we're going to be charging everything up here with the amount of sunshine we are forecasting all the way through the weekend. It is full charge on those batteries with what we are looking at. We don't have any rain. I mean, there are no systems that are even close to us. And we've got the 0% chance of rain through the weekend. Great time to wash the car, get out there and do that. And, you know, just get outdoors. Take advantage of this here. And it gets even better. I can't believe it's going to get better, but it is. Next Monday and Tuesday, we've got the 60s coming back here and sunshine with that as well. Now, it's the middle of next week when things maybe get a little dicey and we're talking about our next chance of rain. But look at this future track data that runs through Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and all the way to next Wednesday. So we had to go on our models here pretty much about 180 hours out before we got to any rainfall. So it's going to be a nice calm pattern, that is for sure. Okay, so for tonight, we're going to dip down to around 32 degrees for the overnight low under mostly clear skies. Again, this morning we were down to the 20s, so it was a lot worse. 57 for tomorrow, sunny skies. Now we're going to say that's the nicest of the 7-day, but it could maybe even get a little better next week, as we mentioned. But I think the winds come up a little bit tomorrow. We'll be out of the southwest, 10 to 15 miles an hour. And just look at this thing here. I mean, sunshine. It does get a little cooler there at the end of the week, but still not bad. Saturday and Sunday, I mean, people are going to be out and about. And then as we get into next week, we've got those 60s coming back for us. And just beyond that is when maybe the pattern gets a little bit more active and we have to start talking about rain, maybe thunderstorms. So that is the trade-off as our temperatures get back into the 60s. And of course, that aligns with the Severe Weather Awareness Week that is this week. We've been talking about that. And we're kind of preparing and getting ready. Of course, the sirens were tested out there today, and we're inching towards that. That's always a good sign when we're starting to talk about severe weather preparedness, because I mean, spring is near and warmer temperatures are near as well.
And if we can get 7 days of that beautiful weather, we can handle the rain you've got.
I wouldn't expect a 7-day forecast to look like that again for a while, because as we know, we head into spring, you're going to get back into the rain and stormy season. So this week, take advantage of it.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin, thanks. Tonight's bright spot is a dog taking advantage of a bright spot. If you've got a dog or cat, this scene is probably familiar to you. Michelle found Roxy soaking up the sun. I think Roxy probably likes that 7-day forecast from Kevin.
No complaints there. We want to see your pictures and videos. Email us, send them on Facebook. We might even put it on TV.
Progress continues at one golf course that nearly didn't have a future when it could open again.
Plus, the Illini Nation celebrating tonight after an historic win against Michigan, but probably not as much as the players were in the locker room.
Live from your local news leader, Jessica Coons, Paul Cicchini, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast, with meteorologist Kevin Lighty and Brett Behrens on sports. You're watching WCIA 3 News at 10.
We're getting closer to a golf course reopening in Urbana.
That's right. Now there's a push to start selling the available homes and lots in the area. Stone Creek was donated to the university, and the course is being renovated to collegiate level. Lots are available near the course for people to build homes, and some homes are already for sale. There are also plans to bring back a restaurant.
It's a great place to live, a lot of walking, a lot of outdoors, and it's really a beautiful neighborhood.
To bring even more amenities to that location by creating more excitement and more development out there, great opportunity for the whole community.
The golf course should be ready for play by the end of the summer. If you want more information about those lots, you can find it on our website.
Here's a follow-up to a story from yesterday, and it's some good news. A woman who lost her dog after a crash has been reunited with her furry friend. Amanda Robles was driving near Piper City Sunday night when her car went into a ditch and turned over. Her 7-month-old golden doodle was in the car and escaped. Robles and the community had been out since yesterday morning searching for her. That dog was found this morning hiding under a tractor near the crash site.
Marley, you and I were talking earlier today about the Illini game tonight. Neither of us expected the outcome.
Absolutely not. It was probably Illinois' biggest win on the road yet in program history. We got the highlights and a live report from Brett Behrens coming up next. You don't want to miss this one.
From the official television station of Illini Sports, this is WCIA 3 Sports and your Illini Nation.
It's the highest ranked showdown for Illinois since 2005, and Ayo DeSumo not suiting up. The Illinois guard traveled with the team to Ann Arbor but remains sidelined. Brad Underwood confirms he is going through concussion protocol right now. That leaves Illinois without their National Player of the Year candidate against number 2 Michigan. But no Ayo, no problem. DeMonte Williams knocks down the triple. He combined for 7 points in the first 6 minutes. Wolverines get going with a 3 from Isaiah Livers. They held him to just 7 points tonight. Andre Curbelo goes coast to coast on this one, ties it up at 10. And this guy, we've seen him do it a million times. He is just a living, breathing highlight reel. Strong take there as the Illini pull ahead by 4. And on this one, it'll be a second chance point for Illinois. Grandison gets the rebound out to Adam Miller. The bench goes absolutely crazy. Michigan has to take a timeout with the Illini up 7 in the first. There's plenty more where that came from, though. Trent Frazier with the steal. He goes for it, and DeMonte Williams puts it to bed. It'll be 25-18 Illinois. Then the Coburn turnaround puts Illinois ahead by 9, and they just put their foot on the gas. Trent Frazier gets the jumper to extend the lead, and that's not even the end of it. Illinois goes up by 11 at half. They come back with just as much fire. Georgie Bashanishvili with the putback. They had 22 second chance points tonight, and what a night for Trent Frazier. Gets the and one. The Illini lead by 20. You can call him Trent Cash Frazier. Nails the 3 as the Illini go ahead 64-36, and they did not look back from there. Illinois hands Michigan a 20-point loss, beating them 76-53 on their home turf. The Illini improve now to 15-4 in Big Ten play, tied for their most conference wins in program history. WCIA 3 sports director Brett Behrens joins us live now from Ann Arbor. Brett, this continues to be a season and just one for the record books on so many levels.
There are statement wins, Marley, and then there are historic wins, and this fits both of those for the Illini. The highest ranked road win in program history, and when you think about Illinois basketball, that dates more than 100+ years, and they have never done what they did tonight, and that is significant in so many ways, not only for tonight, right, and what it signifies, but also for the future here and what this month holds. It's March, and the Illini prove tonight that they are more than ready for the madness that is ahead and heading to Indianapolis. And with only one game left in the regular season, the Illini are showing that they are a national title contender, but maybe more importantly than what they did offensively tonight with Trent Frazier, Andre Curbelo, and Kofi Coburn showing up in a big way. It was what they did defensively. Hunter Dickinson is a lock to win the Big Ten Freshman of the Year, just 6 points from him. Franz Wagner is a future NBA lottery pick, 2 points from him. And Isaiah Livers, like you mentioned in the highlights, only had 7. The Wolverines shoot just 34% from the field and 28% from 3.
You know, beating a team that's 2 in the country and up there in almost every analytic is it's got to be a pretty strong statement. And then to do that without, you know, college basketball's best player, you know, pretty big statement.
We just want to come out there and just prove to the world, you know, what we're capable of. And, you know, guys had to, like I said, guys had to step up, but you know, overall, it was just, you know, completely special out there tonight.
The effort was there, possibly the most effort we've ever seen from an Illini team under head coach Brad Underwood. I don't think that's a stretch to say that, Marley. And now their sights are set on bigger things than just beating number 2 Michigan. Both Trent Frazier and Brad Underwood mentioned that in the post-game press conference. Said, hey, this is great tonight. Yes, you got one more in the regular season at Ohio State on Saturday, but their goals are certainly higher than just beating Michigan.
Now, Brett, it seemed like the bench was just on a completely different level tonight. What was the atmosphere in the arena that you saw?
There was a few fans in here tonight, Marley, obviously mostly Michigan. There were a couple orange shirts in the crowd, I assume parents for Illini players, but the crowd was silent. And I heard a couple of people behind me even asking, who is this team? Specifically Andre Curbelo in the first half, and the language isn't quite suitable for television, Marley, but they were asking themselves, who is this Illini team? Because they came out after a slow start for both teams. There was only 7 points in the first 6 minutes, and the Illini lit a fire after that. The bench was ready to go, and I don't think we can state just how important this win is in the 3rd straight victory for them without Ayo Dosunmu. When they get Ayo back, you'd only have to think it's bigger things ahead for this team. Marley?
All right, Brett, thanks. We have the full post-game press conference on our website. You can hear more from Brad Underwood and the team there. And guys, like we saw at the beginning of the newscast, it was just one happy locker room tonight.
I can't imagine.
Yeah,
Oh, there we go.
There it is.
Oh.
The Gatorade shower for the win. What a celebration.
It's a big win.
Love it. That puts a smile on your face. Good stuff. All right, Marley, thanks so much. We'll be right back.
Oops. Well, a lot of sunshine here over the course of the next week. Tomorrow, amazing day. 57 degrees. It will be tough to come into work tomorrow afternoon. I know it's going to be a struggle already.
Between the Illini win, the sunshine.
Kevin signing sick notes.
For all of us.
They're accepted everywhere, except where you work.
We will see you tomorrow.
Have a great night.
Someone will.
You told me,